Every man knows the feeling. You give everything, your time, your loyalty, your heart, and still, you lose. You build her world while she dreams about someone else. You stay faithful while she flirts for attention online. You try to be the man she says she wants, but the truth is, she never wanted that man at all. You're told to be kind, patient, respectful, and you do it. But she runs straight back to the chaos, to the men who don't care. And you sit there wondering, what did I do wrong? It's not your fault. You're playing by rules that no longer exist. Because the modern dating world isn't built on love anymore. It's built on leverage. It's a system that feeds on your effort, your energy, your hope, and if you don't understand what's really happening behind it all, you'll keep losing a game that was never meant for you to win. The reason men are losing isn't because we got weaker. It's because the game changed. The rule book got rewritten, and nobody told us. For generations, men were taught that loyalty, hard work, and sacrifice were the foundation of love. We were told to build, protect, and provide. And if we did that, we'd earn devotion in return. But in the modern world, those rules don't apply anymore. Because what used to be love has turned into leverage. What used to be connection has become competition. And what used to be sacred has been turned into a product. Look around. Female attention, once something rare and meaningful, is now mass-produced and sold to the highest bidder. Platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and OnlyFans turned validation into a marketplace. Every post, every filter, every seductive glance is part of an economy built on your attention. You're not dating her anymore. You're competing with millions of men she doesn't even know. You're fighting against the algorithm, against her own addiction to being seen, to being desired, to being adored by strangers. That's not connection. That's performance. Women learned something powerful and dangerous. They realized their looks could be monetized, their sexuality could be weaponized, and their validation could control men. It's not love they're chasing anymore. It's attention. Attention has become their currency, and you're the one paying for it, with your time, your focus, your energy. The truth is, most women today are never truly single. Even when they're yours, they belong to the crowd. 10,000 likes whisper louder than your words. One DM from a stranger feels more exciting than your loyalty. It's not that they're evil. It's that they've been programmed this way. Society told them empowerment meant exposure, that freedom meant no limits, that being desirable was more important than being faithful. Feminism sold the dream of independence, but what it really delivered was dependency on validation, on digital attention, on endless external approval. And now, we're living in a culture where self-respect has been replaced by self-promotion. The old balance between men and women has been shattered. For centuries, women's value came from their loyalty, femininity, and ability to nurture. Men's value came from their strength, provision, and protection. It was an exchange that built families, societies, civilizations. But when female sexuality became unrestrained, that structure collapsed. The ancient order, the one that kept desire and responsibility in check, was replaced by chaos disguised as freedom. And chaos doesn't build. It consumes. You can see it everywhere. Relationships don't last. Marriage rates are falling. Divorce rates are exploding. Men are checking out completely, not because they hate women, but because they're tired of fighting a game that no longer rewards effort. Why would a man spend years building a life, only to compete with a stranger on the internet offering dopamine for free. Why would he pour his soul into one woman when the world tells her she deserves everything, gives nothing, and never feels satisfied? Every civilization that forgot how to control desire collapsed. The Romans, the Greeks, the Persians, all of them fell when pleasure became more important than purpose. They called it progress. We call it empowerment. But the result is always the same. When discipline dies, decadence takes over. And when decadence rules, decline is inevitable. We're not special. We're just next. The truth no one wants to admit is that female sexual freedom wasn't about equality. It was about control. The power to attract resources without offering commitment. The power to manipulate men emotionally and sexually while playing the victim. The power to extract attention, money, and validation from every direction while claiming oppression. It's not freedom, it's dominance through desire. Men used to compete to earn a woman's heart. Now we compete to survive her attention span. We've gone from building empires for love to building followers for validation. Men used to chase creation. Now we chase reaction. And it's killing us slowly, one dopamine hit at a time. The same energy that once built cathedrals and sent rockets to the moon is being wasted in comment sections and DMs. We're trading legacy for lust, and the world is applauding while it burns. You might think I'm exaggerating, but look closer. Birth rates are collapsing. Marriage is at an all-time low. Depression and loneliness are higher than ever, for both men and women. This isn't coincidence, it's consequence. We dismantled the boundaries that kept us grounded, and now everyone's lost. Men are lost without purpose, women are lost without meaning, and children are lost without stability. The system calls it liberation, but what it really delivered was isolation. Women know the clock is ticking. They know their value on the sexual marketplace isn't forever. That's why the validation never stops. The selfies, the filters, the attention hunting. It's survival disguised as self-expression. But when youth fades and the attention dries up, regret hits hard. That's when they start asking, where have all the good men gone? But by then, the good men have already left. They're done playing. They've seen behind the curtain. The painful part? Most women feel the emptiness too. They won't admit it publicly, but they know something's off. They can feel it in the late-night anxiety, the quiet loneliness, the endless scrolling for validation that never fills the void. They know something sacred was lost, but they don't know how to get it back. Because the truth is, the freedom they were promised wasn't freedom at all. It was a cage built from desire, locked by attention, and sold as empowerment. Meanwhile, men are waking up, slowly, quietly, but surely. Some are walking away. Some are rebuilding their values. Some are forming new tribes, rediscovering purpose, strength, and self-respect. They're learning that the answer isn't to hate women. It's to stop worshiping them. To stop trying to win a rigged game. To focus that energy back into creation, into discipline, brotherhood, and legacy. Because civilization wasn't built by men chasing validation. It was built by men chasing vision. That's the truth women will never tell you, because deep down, they already know it. They know what happens when men wake up. They know what happens when men stop simping, stop begging, and start leading again. It's the one thing they can't control. A man who sees clearly. And once you see this truth for yourself, there's no going back. If this truth hit you, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe now. Join the few who actually see the game for what it is. More men are waking up every day. Be one of them. Because the moment you understand, everything changes. Every broken man you see today was built by the same lie, that if he just loved enough, worked enough, and proved himself enough, she'd stay. But she didn't. Because love in this modern world isn't about loyalty anymore. It's about leverage. It's not about who you are. It's about what you can provide, what you can offer, what you can feed into her endless need for validation. That's why men are burning out. That's why we're seeing record depression, suicide, addiction, and quiet hopelessness. Men built the world, but the world stopped caring about men. Every building you see, every bridge, every system, built by the hands of men who believed their effort meant something. And now, those same men are being told they're toxic, outdated, replaceable. When society feminizes itself, it dies. Not because women are evil, but because feelings start replacing facts. Comfort replaces competition. Safety replaces strength. We've built a culture that celebrates emotion over reason, equality over excellence, sensitivity over truth. And in the name of progress, we've stripped away the very masculinity that built everything we now take for granted. Look around. Universities are teaching conformity, not courage. Media worships sensitivity, but mocks strength. Men are told to open up, but the moment they do, they're judged as weak. Masculine energy, the drive to build, to conquer, to protect, has been labeled a disease. The result? A generation of men who've stopped trying. They've checked out. They're numbing themselves with porn, weed, video games, and meaningless distractions. All while women post about how there are no good men left. But here's the irony. They created this. They wanted freedom without responsibility and validation without limits, and empowerment without consequence. And now they're drowning in their own success. Because every strong, independent woman still craves what she secretly despises, a man stronger than her, a man who leads. Yet she helped destroy the very qualities she once desired. When the feminine dominates a society, that society collapses, not instantly, but slowly, like rust eating through metal. Discipline fades, standards fall, families disintegrate, birth rates crash, and then, when the foundation is gone, the walls start to crumble. History has seen this movie before. Rome, Babylon, Greece, all conquered not by foreign armies, but by internal decay. They traded virtue for pleasure, duty for indulgence, strength for softness, and within a century, they were gone. We're repeating the same cycle, only this time with Wi-Fi and OnlyFans. The temples have been replaced by screens, and the gods we worship now are influencers and dopamine hits. Women sell their bodies for digital attention, and men sell their souls for a glimpse of affection. It's not a civilization anymore. It's a circus, a dopamine economy running on broken people pretending they're free. And what's even darker, they call this progress. They tell you this is liberation. They celebrate dysfunction, glorify promiscuity, and demonize restraint. They call masculinity toxic and obedience oppressive. But deep down, they know the truth. The more chaos spreads, the easier people are to control. Because a society without strong men is a society that obeys. Men used to dream about legacy. Now they dream about escape. They don't want families. They don't want love. They just want peace. Because every time a man opens his heart, he pays for it with pain. And pain leaves scars that no therapy quote can heal. So they withdraw, quietly, silently, disappearing from the game one by one. But something's changing. Beneath all the noise, men are starting to remember who they are. They're starting to realize they don't need validation from a broken system. They're finding purpose in pain again, discipline in solitude, strength in truth. The rise of the awakened man isn't loud. It's calm, calculated, and unstoppable. He doesn't hate women. He just stopped being manipulated by them. He doesn't chase approval. He chases purpose. He doesn't argue about equality. He embodies excellence. Because he understands something most people forgot. Civilization was never built by men who wanted to be liked. It was built by men who wanted to build. This awakening terrifies the system. It terrifies the media, the influencers, and yes, it terrifies the women who built their power on men's ignorance. Because once a man sees clearly, he can't be controlled. You can't shame him. You can't guilt him. You can't manipulate him with sex or silence. A man who knows his value becomes untouchable. That's why they ridicule the red pill movement, mock masculine energy, and label every strong man as toxic. It's not because they're dangerous. It's because they're free, and freedom is contagious. The moment one man wakes up, 10 others start to question everything. They don't want you to build. They want you distracted. They don't want you to unite. They want you divided. Because if men ever truly reconnect with purpose, discipline, and brotherhood, the entire system falls apart. The attention economy dies. The fake empowerment dies. The illusion of control dies. So yes, men are walking away, not out of weakness, but out of clarity. They've realized that chasing modern women is chasing emptiness. They've realized that validation is the enemy of growth. And most importantly, they've realized that the future doesn't need to be fixed. It needs to be rebuilt. The men who will shape the next era won't be the ones complaining online. They'll be the ones training in silence, stacking their wins, building communities, and living by a new code. Not the code society gives them, but the one written into their DNA. The code of strength, honor, restraint, and vision. Because when men reclaim discipline, women follow structure. When men lead, families thrive. When men protect, civilizations rise. This has always been the law of nature, and no social movement can rewrite that. The truth women never wanted you to know is this: they need you more than you'll ever need them. They need your stability, your vision, your ability to turn chaos into order. They can deny it all they want, but biology doesn't lie. History doesn't lie. Nature doesn't lie. And once men understand that, once they stop playing the victim and start becoming the builder again, everything changes. Because power doesn't come from control. It comes from clarity. And the moment men see the world for what it truly is, the collapse won't scare them anymore. They'll be ready to build something stronger from the ashes. The collapse isn't coming. It's already here. You can see it in the eyes of lonely women pretending they're happy. You can see it in the silence of men who've stopped trying. You can feel it every time you scroll through a feed full of fake smiles, empty words, and people desperate to be seen. Society didn't just lose its soul, it sold it for dopamine. But here's the truth, they'll never tell you. Collapse isn't the end. It's the cleansing fire before rebirth. Every great civilization fell the same way, from comfort, from indulgence, from forgetting who built it in the first place, and every time, it was men who rebuilt it. Not politicians, not influencers, not activists. Men, grounded, disciplined, dangerous in their calm, who decided that chaos had gone too far. That's where we are now, standing in the ruins, staring at what's left, holding the choice in our hands. You can keep blaming women, government, society, or you can look in the mirror and remember what you were built for. You were never meant to be soft. You were never meant to chase approval. You were meant to lead, to build, to protect. You are not powerless. They just need you to believe you are. Because a man who remembers his purpose is impossible to control. You can't bribe him with sex. You can't shame him with fear. You can't manipulate him with guilt. He walks differently. He speaks differently. He carries weight. And when men like that multiply, everything changes. The future won't belong to the loud. It'll belong to the disciplined, to the men who reject the noise, master themselves, and build quietly. While the world argues about gender and privilege, those men will be planting the seeds of the next civilization, one built on strength, structure, and truth. You don't have to fix the world overnight. You just have to start with yourself. Turn off the distractions, cut the poison, hit the gym, stack your wins, learn a skill, save your money, build something real. Because every time you choose discipline over comfort, clarity over chaos, you're rebelling against the system that wants you weak. That's how civilizations rise, one disciplined man at a time. The system can't stop that. They can mock it, censor it, try to shame it, but they can't kill it. Because truth doesn't die. It waits. It hides inside the men who refuse to break. And don't misunderstand, this isn't about hating women. It's about understanding human nature. It's about seeing through the illusions and reclaiming the balance that built everything we now call progress. The world needs women, but it needs men first. Strong men, stable men. Men who don't bend just because society tells them to. Every woman who complains there are no good men left is really saying she misses order. She misses leadership. She misses the structure that only masculine strength can provide. But that order can't return until men stop apologizing for being men. So stop explaining. Stop begging. Stop proving. You don't owe anyone an apology for being masculine. You don't need permission to lead. You don't need validation to create. All you need is clarity and the discipline to live by it. The media will keep telling you you're the problem. They'll call you toxic, outdated, fragile. But remember, they said the same thing about every man who built something great. The world never loves the builder until after he's gone. So don't build for approval. Build for legacy. Build because the future depends on you. Some men will keep chasing the illusion, the attention, the validation, the temporary high. But others, the few who see through the fog, they'll walk away from the noise. They'll become harder, calmer, sharper. They'll form brotherhoods built not on pity, but on power. They'll protect each other, teach each other, and create something worth dying for again. And when the world finally crumbles under its own emptiness, it'll be those men, the disciplined ones, the awake ones, who rise from the ashes and start over. History doesn't remember the loudest. It remembers the builders, the men who stayed silent, stayed focused, and rebuilt while everyone else was distracted. So if you're listening to this, understand one thing. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to rebuild. The system doesn't fear the man who complains. It fears the man who acts, the one who wakes up, stands up, and starts creating again. The one who refuses to be numb, Because when you rise, other men rise with you. And when enough of us stand tall, the collapse stops being an ending. It becomes a beginning. This is the moment history resets. This is where weak men end and strong men return. So build your body, sharpen your mind, guard your spirit. And remember, you don't need permission to take your place in the world again. The future doesn't belong to the loud. It belongs to the disciplined. It belongs to you. If this message hit you, don't just scroll away. You felt something, that pull inside your chest, that quiet voice that said, "He's right." You've seen it. You've lived it. You've felt the pain of giving everything and getting nothing. Now, it's time to do something about it. This isn't just another video. It's the start of a movement. A place where men stop pretending, stop apologizing, and start rebuilding. If you've been through it, the heartbreak, the confusion, the lies, drop a comment below. Tell your story. Tell the truth no one else is brave enough to say. Because every time one man speaks up, 10 others realize they're not alone. Hit that subscribe button. Join the brotherhood. This channel isn't about hate. It's about clarity, strength, and purpose. Every week, we expose another layer of the lie, another truth they don't want you to see. So don't just listen. Become part of it. Share this video with someone who needs to wake up. Because the more men who see clearly, the faster the world changes. Your awakening starts now. Welcome to the rebuild.